Hey everybody, welcome back to Cookie Gaming. Today we're playing some more Disco Elysium. Now last time we worked with Evrart as he promised to help us find our gun. He set up a meeting for us that we're going to attend today. We also have to continue building communism. We have to go and meet with our communist book club. However, we have about 2 hours before either of those open up, so we're going to have to find some things to do in the meantime. Now, the first thing is our friend, the idiot Doom Spiral, wanted his jacket washed. Now, I'm not sure why I'm really helping him, but I think we can find some help with the old lady here.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
I think far worse things than that keep me up at night. The washerwoman. Some of you pointed this out. I was like, damn, where am I gonna wash this jacket off? Well, I've got a washerwoman right here. So I found this jacket, but it is absolutely filthy. Could you wash it for me?
I can wash it for you. But it's going to take about a half an hour. Think you can stay put for that long?
Yeah, for once I actually have some time to spare.
Hell yeah. No, we must run around ceaselessly. It would be torture to stay put.
Like I said, we have to wait for both our book club meeting and that meeting that Evrart set up to help us reclaim our firearm.
I could use a breather. It's been another track and field day.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll wait.
Well, hand it over then, and I'll see what I can do. Must say, I'm proud of this one. It's pretty nice underneath all that filth. I hope you take better care of it than its last owner.
Yeah, well, it was pretty disgusting. Alright, thank you. Let's take a look at this. Oh, interesting. So... okay. Pain threshold, half-light. We're really collecting all the phone gear here. But, I think I'm gonna return this back to Idiot Doom Spiral. If he's still awake at this time of night. I doubt he maintains any sort of normal sleep schedule. There he is.
Tequila sunset.
Alright, here's your jacket, freshly washed.
My jacket?
Yeah, the one you had me clean the seagull shit off of.
A look of consternation crosses the man's face. He looks at you, then at his bottle, then back at you.
What the fuck are you talking about, Tequila?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Rosemary, what the fuck is Tequila talking about?
Okay, I see how it is.
Aye, that's the jacket you stole 2 weeks ago. From the kid who was making it with his gal on the beach.
That's disgusting. I've never done anything like that in my life. You're both delusional. Found. That's medium concept stuff.
Right, and you're more a high concept kind of guy.
It becomes abundantly clear to you how this man managed to lose his keys, business, friends, and girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm calling it. It's neurological.
Well, I'll keep it then.
That shit is so medium concept, I wouldn't touch it with a stick. But yeah, okay. I'm sure it looks great on you.
I mean, look, man, I brought it for you. If you don't want it, I'll keep it.
It's an okay jacket, if you're into that look.
I mean...
Okay, let's step aside for a second.
Oh?
I have something I want to talk about.
Okay. That's surprising. What is it, Kim?
I've been meaning to have a little chat with you about your sense of style.
Uh-oh. When Kim is really gonna give it to us. Look, Kim, I pick up a lot of different clothes. I'm switching things in and out. I don't even like the fall jacket. I just like to collect stuff. My style? What about it?
I'm glad you finally started dressing a little more like an officer of the RCM.
Oh,
Keep it up.
that's not what I expected.
Your half-brother is proud to stand beside you.
Wow. Okay, I'm kind of surprised. I thought I was about to get razzed. You like this?
You're an officer of the RCM, not some bon vivant. You know the expression, the clothes make the man? The right outfit in the right situation can make all the difference in the world.
No, I'm not going to insult Kim. Dude, Kim's got drip. He knows. Alright, you're a sharp-dressed man. We could be style buddies.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, Detective.
Fair enough. I'm not measuring up to you, Kim.
A warm smile.
Anyway, we should probably get back to the case. Let's go.
Wow. I wonder what prompted that. I'm kind of surprised. I mean, I've been consistently wearing my RCM patrol cloak, but a lot of the other clothing has been switched in and out. Well, there you go. That's the jacket done with. Now what I'd like to do is have a chat with Joyce. It's been a little while since we've spoken to Joyce. We've done some stuff in the meantime. I feel like now might be a good moment to maybe share some stuff with her, get her opinion.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Well, I've been dealing with Evrart again.
Oh?
That's funny. Wow. There's quite a couple options here. Well, this is the most bombastic one, so I'll leave it for last. He asked me to deliver an envelope.
Sounds like he has you running errands, Detective. A well-established dominance ritual. Where did he have you deliver it?
Here.
Here? Oh no. What does that bloated hellbat want with my little cinder block town?
It's clear the village has already grown dear to her. Strangely so. Why did she come here?
Yeah, what do you mean your little cinder block town? What is this?
No, don't tell me. I don't want to know what he has in store for this place. Probably a statue. It's a statue, right?
Well, not quite a statue.
A giant statue of him. Or better yet, his twin brother. Practically the same thing, but makes him seem less like a psychopath.
He wants to build a youth center here for the children of Martinez.
A youth center with Edgar Clare's statue on top of it. Go ahead. Help him. Make it so. I have no power to stop him.
Hey, don't worry. I pretended to help him, but we tricked him. Every opportunity I've been given to help Evrart, I've sort of gone along with him, because I guess I want information and help from him, but I've never really done what he wanted. You're quite fond of this village, aren't you?
I should be. In my youth, I had a brief dalliance here in Martinez.
Oh.
He was an older man with impossibly broad shoulders. He's probably dead by now. Even his shack is long gone. Not that it matters. These buildings are all carbon copies of one another.
You've been to Martinez before.
Yes, I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine. We had boats and... Don't hold it against me. My paramour certainly did not.
Sounds like you miss those times.
Not overly so. It's not like this was the only place we visited. Me and my girlfriends from Azon with our shiny boats. Like reavers.
Slumming it. All the rich people come to the poor part of town to have fun and look at the poor people. Classic.
We told ourselves we were the worst thing to happen to the coast since the Coalition landed in '08. Imagine.
Oh no, she's sentimental, all right. Why would she come here otherwise?
Why'd you come here then, to this jetty?
I'm over-radiated, Harry. I do silly things sometimes, out of pale-related illness.
Whoa.
Like sail over here. The moral of the story is...
I'm not sure how to take that answer. I don't know if she's just sort of brushing it off, or if she's genuinely saying that she has some pale-related symptoms. I mean, we've talked a lot about the pale during this playthrough, about exposure to it, how it can do some weird things to you, get you real mixed up with memories and time. I wonder if, once again, if it actually is having an impact on her, or if she's just using that to sort of brush off my question.
Do not spend 22 days a year in pale transit. Don't waste your 20s slumming it with your stupid friends. And don't deliver Evrart Clare's mail.
Well, I did deliver it, but not in the way you wanted.
Are you satisfied, Detective? What else can you tell me about your mail delivery quest for Evrart? Do you think it will improve the place?
She's pointing it quite hard in there. Feels like a knife.
I thought, maybe I won't share this with Joyce, but at this point, let's just let it all out there. You know what I mean? We'll go back and forth, Joyce and Evrart. Tell both of them everything, because I'm just curious to hear what they're going to say. Plus, you know, with this whole point of no return, I've really been wanting to wrap up these loose ends, which apparently you guys have been liking, which I appreciate. You know, I always like finishing stuff up, and so I'm sort of like, screw it, let's do everything. I'm not going to get the opportunity soon. You'd prefer something else, not a youth center.
First, there won't be a youth center. Whatever he has told you or the residents, it'll be something horrific, perhaps even worse than a statue. So, yes, I do.
Like what?
A fishery. I've been speaking with Lillian here. She gave me the idea. The infrastructure is all here, and with my connections...
Oh.
Sadly, it's just one of the million things I'll never get round to. I just have to accept that I'll never be the rich candy girl who goes around solving people's problems with money.
Yeah, Joyce, Joyce is pretty well off, but she's still a cog in the machine. You know, she's, of course, of a higher social standing and wealth than just about everyone around here, but she's not right at the top, right? She's not really one of the decision makers. I mean, we've seen that with the negotiations and how everything's getting out of hand. Joyce hasn't really had much power. You know, she's tried to keep things under control, which I appreciate, but the mercenaries the company hired, the people who were actually making the decisions hired, she's got no control over them. Not to mention Evrart has no interest in dealing with her. But Joyce is, you know, just sort of rolling along, doing what she can, which actually isn't much. In a way, that's what we're all doing, but I'm hoping we can make a change here. So you're sad you can't buy the place.
Yes. I'm sad I'll never have the time, Detective. I've always wanted a dilapidating fishing village.
She is more defensive about it than usual.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Full of ghosts and ancient memories. Has this errand yielded you any information?
Mr. Evrart is helping me find my gun.
Oh. That's so helpful of him.
Well, we're gonna find out today if it is actually helpful of him. You know, I was gonna say I've done a lot for him. More like I've pretended to do a lot for him. But as far as he's concerned, you know, I've done a lot for him. And so he owes me. Or he should feel like he owes me. We're gonna find out when we go to this meeting he has set up if I'm actually gonna get my damn gun back. That's what I really want.
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can swear his jaw muscle is trembling. He's able to contain the anger and surprise. When I said be wacky, I didn't mean wildly, grossly irresponsible
Oops.
and damaging to the RCM.
Sorry, Kim.
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this, to gauge their reactions. It's all part of detecting.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun?
What is that? Mr. Evrart is helping me find my gun.
Yes. As you said.
Please, don't get him in a loop. If he gets in a loop, it will last forever. Ask him to say something else, please.
That's wrong. You don't get into loops.
Yeah.
Totally slanderous. Maybe you've gotten into one tiny loop once.
Of course. Thank you for the advice. I'm glad you were here to assist. Your other dealings with Evrart are still of considerable interest to me.
The lieutenant will be more lenient toward sharing those, hopefully.
Well, here's really the big thing that we actually found out from Evrart. That maybe you've already guessed, but man, this whole thing is a takeover.
A takeover?
Interesting. Yeah, it's not a strike. You aren't being let in because there's nothing to negotiate. The Union is taking the terminal.
If they're taking it...
Green livery, changing into red, blot by blot. Like a cancer of the blood, metastasizing.
Then we're talking about a war. Evrart needs to let me into the harbor at once. We need to talk about this.
I mean, he's ready for a war. I hate to say it.
They most certainly are not. Crenell has 1,000 men on their payroll. The next batch will be a platoon of 20 men and a gunship.
Look, that's what I want to prevent. I think a lot of people will get killed, but Evrart is set on it. He's convinced this is what he's going for. This is what he needs.
I've seen the Union's forces. They are better organized than these mercenaries. They also have the support of the people of Revachol West.
I mean, I think in the end, it would not be good for the company for Wild Pines. However, I think in the short term, this would lead to a lot of death.
It will take more than Crenell to wipe them out. Wild Pines will need to send more and better equipped men. Make no mistake, ma'am. I am sure you have the money. The question is, how many years and how many lives are you willing to sacrifice?
Yeah, that is the question. And let me tell you, Evrart, he's willing to sacrifice lives, right? So each side, we're sort of at an impasse. Who's willing to sacrifice more? I reckon Evrart. I don't agree with his approach, but he's a pretty determined character as far as I can tell.
What do you suggest I do?
Ooh. Ooh, good question. I wish there was a disco option. Apocalypse. Nah, I don't like that. No, I don't like that. Will this affect your decision-making process?
Everything affects the decision-making process, Detective.
Right.
Officer?
For once, I don't seem to know what the right thing to do is.
I mean, this is the Kim answer, right? It's not the RCM's job to make these decisions. I mean, honestly, the tension's rising. I don't know. The thing is, they'll never just let the workers have the harbor. Of course they won't. But, at this point, I mean, also I'm playing a communist character. I would like to end this. It's getting too much. I'd say the workers should have the harbor.
Do you think it's within my authority to give it to them? Do you think I can control the board and the shell-shocked mercenaries they've sent?
I don't. That's what I'm saying. I do not think you have anything close to that degree of authority. And since you don't, let me ask you, what are you going to do?
What will I do?
Her arms fall to her sides. Her spine relaxes.
Did I ever tell you how they discovered this Isola? During our reality lowdown?
You said you would, one day.
It may be the only break we've ever caught as a species. The last one for 400 years.
Why?
The nations who colonized this Isola called theirs Muindi, the world. It was all they knew, all they thought would be. That there would be something more was a gamble, akin to another world, or life after death.
Oh, interesting. Some interesting metaphors here. We've talked about this sort of age of discovery. Of course, in our world, we have an age of discovery. But in many ways, this is that, but ramped up even further. Because, and not that I'm saying traveling across the Atlantic is or was easy. It's not. But traveling through the Pale, it's even more difficult and uncertain and dangerous at a truly sort of existential level.
The Pale was thought to be impregnable, perpetual. Irene la Navigateur, the Queen of Suren, sent 8 expeditions, one after the other, into the mass at the edge of the world. 5 of the crews did not return. 2 did, but had lost their minds.
We've heard a little bit about Irene the Navigator and Dolores Day, of course. Yes, a very, very interesting part of the history. Seems really fundamental to the current era of history we are in, Harry is in. I mean, it's much like you look at the history of our world today, and, you know, I mean, people cut off certain periods at different points, people give different emphasis to different moments of history, but it's, I think, difficult to argue that the beginning of the Age of Exploration was not incredibly important, right? Europeans arriving in the Americas, uniting the Old World and the New World, truly launches us in many ways into the modern era. I think we've got a pretty similar thing here. 8? Is that a normal number?
It was anything but normal. There was no precedent. People thought she was punishing the admirals, or had gone mad, or both.
Yeah, right.
Until after years of trial and error, and the development of a strict psychological regime imitating the creation process of poetry.
Sorry, what?
Called Volta Doma, or Return from the Sea.
God, this is all so fascinating.
The 8th expedition returned sane and intact. They told of a new continent of matter. They told the Queen and her counselor, Dolores Day, that the Pale had begun to condense, day after day, hour after hour, minute after minute.
Wow. So the 8th expedition, they found this new continent of matter because after years of trial and error, they had a strict psychological regime imitating the creation process of poetry. Volta Domar. I'm so curious about what that even means and how they figured out how to, I don't know, I guess combat the effects of the Pale. Fascinating.
Slowly raining down until it formed a vast ocean.
The air is cold and scented with petrichor. There are rain circles on water all around. Humidity crawls up your back like a piano trill.
See, this, like I was saying, comparing our own age of exploration to the one in this world, for them, like I said, the Pale's a step further. The discovery of a sea or an ocean, that's a lot more familiar and more understandable. And, as us humans know, the ocean, the sea itself can be pretty scary and pretty foreign to us. But the Pale, well, that's a whole nother level. Let's put our hand in the rain.
So does the lieutenant. His mouth is slightly open as he looks to the sky. The droplets feel warm, like spring rain.
This ocean?
The phenomenon has never again been encountered. For a time, the crew thought they were experiencing a hallucination. The mass hand proclaimed, "Lancielinde, Lancielinde," the signal to wake up. But they could not. They were sane and conscious, as islands began to appear on the horizon. There are 78,000 uninhabited islands in the Insulindian archipelago, officer. The freckled face of God.
Wow.
You've thought it a million times.
Uninhabited? That's, of course, another difference that we see here. Yep. Man, all this is coming together. I don't know what it's coming together to be, though. What are we centering in on? What is the point, the message, the meaning? There's so much here. As with any good. It's kind of like a piece of literature. There are different ways to analyze it, but I feel all the themes converging. I like when everything's coming together and we're connecting stuff we've heard before. After life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the Pale. After the Pale, the world again. This line feels very important to me.
A total shift in human comprehension of reality. On the second day, a great skua was shot down above the flagship Lysergique. The bird was preserved and brought back, along with pollen.
Wow, the skua. Everything connects.
4 years later, the Queen's Counselor was proclaimed Her Innocence Dolores Day, the elected world spirit. The age of humanism, internationalism, and parliamentary rule followed. We were high.
Wow. Well, I've got no more slots left. But we did discover a new thought. The Insulindian miracle. Well, I can't translate this. Oh, interesting. Poem we know by heart, eh? Maybe I'll consider opening up a slot at some point, but not right now. Leaving us here.
On Caillou, the Pebble, the largest of the fertile uninhabited islands of the northeast Insulindian archipelago. 4 centuries and 2 revolutions later.
Wow. And things are not going so well for us. We have this if the islands sounds like they truly were uninhabited, I mean, that's a true blessing to all of humanity. You have discovered all these new islands, fertile islands that people can settle on, more resources. That's a great thing. But we're still humans, right? And so we end up with the situation Martinez is in today. All this history has happened. Revachol has gone through a lot. And it's, I don't know, maybe at a bit of a low period, though you can always have hope for the future, I guess. The Great Skua was the first bird they saw.
The first living, autonomous organism. Proof of reality. It's the symbol of Insulinde, detective. The coat of arms of the suzerain and the wings on the crest of the commune.
Interesting. Seemed to have it in for it, or it for me. I broke one.
In your defense, it is a nasty creature who plucks food from the throats of lesser birds. Yet much like Revachol, it is also magnificent and rare. Imagine the suzerain of seagulls.
So what is my beef with the Great Skua? A bird that represents not just the suzerain, but also the commune. Represents the Insulinda generally. Very interesting. Oh man, there's a lot here.
There was a sting in your heart at the mention before, when she said its name.
And this was the last break we got? Yeah, seems like it.
The nations of Mundi proceeded to discover 5 more Isolae. Or they discovered us. All in the rush of the great inter-Islary reconnection.
Right.
But these others weren't uninhabited. We had to kill people there. Wipe out indigenous populations. Gunboat economies. Or they came to do the same for us. Or had done to each other. But here...
Right, so that's a lot more similar to what we have in our world, right? The vast majority of the territory discovered in the age of exploration throughout the Americas was inhabited. And this is what happened, essentially.
There was no one but the Skua, the Liliat Saya, and the Blood Beach, and the River Esperance. It was the new world. The Mondials used it to amass the greatest concentration of wealth mankind has ever seen. Revachol, the suzerain.
What happened?
Revolution, poverty, and the mercurial rise of capitalism.
It's raining.
It is. Soon it will be spring and everything will blossom.
Oh, I love this. We're looking forward into the future. We're looking towards spring. And, I mean, we had that one Shivers check that basically told us things are going to erupt in the spring. Maybe the return, the mythical return, a revolution, something. But there have been a couple of things that have been pointing us towards that new season. You know, spring is coming, right? So, yeah, that's important too.
The gangs will run wild, jacking motor carriages, ferrying amphetamines through Coal City. Spring is tough in Revachol.
I think this will be a particularly tough, important, monumental spring. I don't know quite what's going to happen, but it'll be important, that's for sure. So, Joyce, what will you do?
I will take your advice, Lieutenant Evrart. I will surrender Terminal B to the Union.
Wow. Thought it wasn't within your means.
She puts her hand in the rain. She's silent for a second.
We will see.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's hard for me to say, and I don't love Evrart, but I really don't want this fight to continue. I don't want violence to break out. I'm doing what I can to try and prevent that. Plus, you know, I've got no love for the corporation. I hope Joyce continues to try and prevent violence, which is, to be fair, what she has been doing. I guess we will see, right? She's right.
Ma'am, this may well unravel property law this side of the river. If that occurs, we may never see the end of this kind of confrontation. The next time there will be 2 strikes, then 4, then 100.
Communism.
What happens will happen.
Well.
The age of capital has only begun. I will talk to my employers in person. We will amputate and cauterize Martinez. if you handle the situation on the ground.
You're going now?
Yes, Mr. Clare has a 2-month head start. I can't let it grow any bigger.
Oh.
And I've exhausted all my options from here.
Oh, we're gonna lose Joyce. She's our best conversation partner. Now, let's try this. We? She generally avoids that term with her employers.
There are no employers. She's a member of the board. Probably a partner.
Oh. Okay, well, you can sort of forget what I said earlier. She really is a member of the ownership class. She really is right at the top. Member of the board, probably a partner. Oh my. Well, 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 Joyce. You certainly fooled me. So, you are the Wild Pines. There are no employers.
You are the citizens' militia. There are no superiors.
Yeah, that's right. I am.
You're wrong, Detective. And next time, you should confer with those superiors before you go setting events in motion.
Well, Kim, we're in a difficult situation. So,
Despite his words, he's not really sure whether to be annoyed with you or not.
I'm not sure either. I'm really not. I don't know what the right call was to make. It seems like we may have set something pretty monumental into motion, but, you know, I'm just doing what I can out here.
Events are already in motion. Whether your actions accelerated or momentarily retarded their progress, even the lieutenant cannot really say.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of feel that. I mean, I feel like at times we've got a pretty good read on Joyce, but especially here, I don't quite understand what her angle is.
I have not deceived you. I told you exactly who I was. Rejoice Layton.
Huh. Alright, well, understood, I suppose.
Keep the peace, and I will keep my end of the bargain.
I will try. That's all I can promise. But I've been trying, and I will continue trying.
How far along is Cronell's investigation?
A confrontation is imminent. They have followed in your footsteps.
Uh-oh.
As your investigation reaches a climax, so does theirs. They are your shadow. Arm yourselves. Armor yourselves.
Uh-oh. Okay. Well, she's telling us directly. And you know what? That's what I've been doing. I've been collecting the armor. We're now much better armored than we were before. Especially after that whole interaction with Gary. Arm yourselves. That's one of the reasons I've gone so far with Evrart. I want my damn gun back. I don't, you know, I'd rather not have to use it, you know what I mean? I'd rather not get into a firefight. But, I mean, if it comes to it, and we gotta step up, then that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy, but maybe it'll have to happen. You know, I'd rather talk my way out. But, it's a good idea to be prepared.
Protect their targets. Violence may be unavoidable, but we can limit the casualties.
Okay, I'm hoping violence is avoidable. But I guess even if it isn't, I will try and limit that violence. So, when will they make their move? Where?
Soon. I do not know precisely. They have cut off all communication, you see. They know I've been feeding you information.
Oh, God.
One last thing, Lieutenant Dubois. I've given the matter much thought and come to this conclusion. You're not an amnesiac. You're insane.
Oh. Oh, well. Thanks. That's great.
I know, because I, too, am insane. I just hide my illness better. And I'm rich.
Oh. What, is this pale related? You're over-radiated?
I'm overexposed, baby. My travels take me through the Pale dozens of times a year. I've got the longing. And I've got it bad.
So have we been affected by the pale? What is happening? This has been something we've been trying to work out from the beginning. But the explanation given to us was that we went on a crazy bender, we drank ourselves into amnesia, which is a believable explanation. And maybe I still believe it, I don't know. But there have been a couple of points when it's been hinted that maybe there's something more. Especially talking to Joyce and the Pale Driver and in the church or nightclub. Sort of like, is that what's happened? Or have we somehow been affected by the Pale? I don't know. I really don't.
She would die to return to it. The Pale, the past, anything one can return to.
How do you keep your shit together?
The same strict psychological regimen the 8th Admiral developed when he crossed the Pale and discovered this Isola. The Volta Domar.
Ooh.
It's used by inter-Easlary travelers and other troubled souls, even to this day.
Tell me about it.
You could use a little of it yourself.
Wait, actually tell me about it. I think I really could use it. Isn't everybody a little insane?
No, Detective. No one's as insane as you.
Well, I think Kim would agree.
Don't worry, madame. I am very sane.
Well, goodbye, Rejoice Layton.
Watch out for yourselves. They will strike soon.
Wow.
The lieutenant watches her boat grow smaller on the bay, its white sails fluttering. With worry in his eyes, he does not know if it was the right thing to do, but he doesn't say anything.
Neither do I, Kim. Neither do I. But, to be honest with you, I mean, there was the option to try and sort of abdicate responsibility, to say, it's not my place to get involved. I didn't feel like that was the right move either. I felt like I had to say something. I had to make some sort of attempt. So, I said what I said, you know? I'm crying out here. That's the best I can do. Best Harry can do.
You wonder what Evrart has to say about this.
I think we'll find out shortly.
Slowly, the sails turn grey-blue as more oxygen gets between you.
Maybe we can try and negotiate with Evrart a little bit. Oh, goodness. Well, Joyce is gone. God, that's a very... What a conversation. It's a little bittersweet, almost. I'm sort of sad to see her go. She was such a great conversation partner. But that was a really rewarding last conversation. And it was a good wrap-up, I'll say that much. I really felt like, and I said this early in the conversation, we were sort of bringing everything together. You know, and we're not done yet. I think there's still a lot more to be brought together if we truly want to understand what's happening. But it was a part of that, definitely. I wonder if I don't know. Decided not to talk to that guy, because who knows what he'll do? Maybe once I get my gun. How about that? Maybe then we'll chat with them. Though I don't. That's the risk of having a firearm, is that you convince yourself, or you're more willing to put yourself in dangerous situations, which is not wise generally. Now we're heading back to Evrart. We'll chat with him, and then we just gotta wait another like hour and a half before we can complete. Well, I say complete. Continue with our 2 missions. You never really know when something's gonna be finished in this game. It always seems to last me longer than I expect. Hello, Evrart.
So, the ship has sailed. Did you see it? I know you did. Tell me, what did it look like as it grew smaller and smaller when that mainsail dropped behind the horizon?
Oh, he always knows. No, he doesn't actually. Hey, let's not believe that, but he often knows.
There's a mean little light in his eyes.
Hey man, I just did you a big favor.
Did it look like a germ? Did it look like a piece of bacteria?
You get a sinking feeling.
No. It looked like a boat sailing away from the coast. No need to be overly dramatic, Evrart.
You wanted us to relay all this information to her.
That this is a takeover? That I want a war? God, I hope you also told her about the drug trade. They absolutely hate getting their hands dirty with that.
Okay, maybe this isn't gonna work. I was almost a little bit like, you know, if we can... What this really is now... God, we're so wrapped up in this. We're definitely more wrapped up than two cops should be. But that's, in part, my fault. So, I won't... Once again, I won't abdicate my responsibility. He won't let Joyce in to negotiate. So basically, now we're being sent in to negotiate. And the offer is... Joyce is going to try and let the terminal be handed over to the Union. And what we want in return, both her and us, is we want Evrart to back away from violence, to back away from this war that he's trying to start. You know, if we can get this handled peacefully, that's a better situation. But, I don't know. He likes to have control, so I guess we'll see.
You can kill 1 million people, but if you do something the police doesn't like, well, then you're out of the yacht club. Goodbye, you inhuman fuck.
Great. This was your plan all along, Evrart?
Harry, I can't see into the future. We are all playing by ear on this planet. I had no idea she'd react so strongly.
Why? But you did want me to relay the info to her.
I did. I knew the negotiations would go better with police officers telling her horror stories from inside the harbour. It's scarier this way. Turns out it was a magnificent strategy. I never thought it'd so fundamentally fuck her up.
Evrart really gets what he wants, eh? Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, now I know why you've been so forthcoming.
No, Harry. What we have is real. We're working men. This here is real.
Hey, look, I'm an advocate for the working man. I just don't know how much you are, Evrart. That's the thing. Joyce, you know, I said at the end, I still didn't quite have a read on Joyce, though I think there's some parts I did understand. I've got far less of a read on Evrart. Evrart, you're a totally closed book. I know nothing about you. I don't even know what you really want. I know your plan, but why? I don't know. Is it all about personal enrichment or personal glory or control, or is it about the Union or the movement? Is there I don't know. I honestly don't.
In there, under pillows of winter fat, his stress-ridden heart still beats furiously.
How do you know she left?
Harry, I bugged her cabin. I bugged her whole boat. I had cameras surveying her boat. Hell, I even wanted to bug that thermal cap, but my boys advised against it.
They must have done it while Joyce was busy questioning the locals.
You've been listening to our conversations all this time.
Not me personally. I had guys recording and processing this information for me.
The Hardy Boys?
Hell no. They fuck it up. They can't do anything right. I mean my real boys. My special task force boys.
Oh, great. Love to hear that.
Where are these boys?
They sure as hell aren't hanging out in the open with beers in their hands for the cops to question. They're pros, Mr. Kitsuragi.
Oh, man. Okay. Well, it's pretty wild how you got me to do all that stuff.
Harry, you made a conscious decision to relay that information to her. You could have kept it for yourself.
Yeah, I could have. But she told me a beautiful story about the discovery of the Insulinda.
Of course she did. Rich people have the best stories. About all the interesting things they've done and seen. All the beautiful places they've been to. It's just sentimentalism. She can afford to be sentimental, and she can afford to lose as well.
Man, that's true. You used my intellectual curiosity against me.
Against you? Oh, Harry, I'd like to think I used it for you.
Well, I guess we'll see which one of those is true, frankly. But she said she's insane, like me.
She's not insane. What did she tell you?
She told me she's over-radiated from pale transit.
No, she's not. She's a sentimental alcoholic. They all are. Never take a drop and you'll be 8 laps ahead of those upper-class winos. Just like old Mr. Clare here. Try it. You'll be a real super detective.
Now I'm getting like mind fucked at this point. I don't know what's true. I was sort of buying into the pale stuff. I don't think. I mean, Harry here is an alcoholic. I don't think Joyce was. I don't know. I don't know what's what at this point. Can't tell up from down. I mean, I've been on the path of sobriety since this game began.
I can see that, Harry. Alcohol has left its marks, but you're doing better than when I first saw you. Rich man is shitting himself. The working class sober.
Ay, ay, ay. So, what's gonna happen now?
What was always going to happen? We take the harbour and she fucks off to Ozon, uncorks a bottle of wine, calls her partners, and says they need to distance themselves from this nasty business before the big shit spinner splashes everyone.
I think that's the idea.
Only difference is the Union doesn't have to lose 2,000 men to machine gun fire.
I mean, I agree with that. I don't know. Oh my goodness. That's funny. I swore fealty to her. She was my beautiful lady. Yeah, I kind of would have been on board. This is what I'm feeling the most, which is I've got a bad taste in my mouth, so you better make sure this ends up saving lives.
That it will, Harry. That it will. As to the bad taste, please, you're not a sommelier. You're a cop. You knew something. Something big. And you wanted to see what happens when you tell someone. So you told her. Anyone who's ever been close to power will tell you. Inside information is the sweetest thing in the world. It's better than money. It's better than pussy. Money only makes you special for some salesmen. Pussy only makes you special for yourself. Information makes you special for all mankind. It's the ticket to history.
Huh. It's not a very materialist interpretation, Evrart. I'll give him a 'cause I mean, information's very important, but I don't know.
Right on, Harry. What you did was participate in history. When history calls, you have to pick up. You had no choice. None of us ever do. A hard disco cop like you, I knew you weren't one to resist temptation.
Well, this isn't Evrart. You gotta read your marks. No, just what am I? And I don't know the quote exactly, but one of my favorite quotes or ideas that Marx wrote about in terms of history is essentially that, you know, we do not make the circumstances we're born into. Within those circumstances, we can make our own decisions, right? He's not a, you know, because some people, and I'm not necessarily a Marxist or a Marxist historian, but, I mean, there's a lot of interesting stuff to be read, and yeah, I do appreciate a materialist historical perspective, right? Now, a lot of people accuse, you know, Marx or Marxists of being determinists, right? You know, but I don't think that's true, and I really like this perspective that Marx has, which is, once again, that, yeah, sure, you're born into a particular moment, in a particular society, in a particular family, in a particular class, etc., etc. You do not choose any of those circumstances, and those have an incredible impact on you, your personality, your decisions, your life, whatever. However, within those constraints, you make your own decisions. So that's what I believe, right? So when history calls, you do not have to pick up. Now, you are surrounded by history, and that you can't change, but you can make your own decisions within that. So I think, you know, I don't think that's an overly deterministic attitude, but you're also recognizing all the influences everybody has to deal with in their lives, right? Anyway, I just thought of that when Evrart said this.
You know what, detective? I am going to leave this out of my report, and I suggest you leave it out of yours too.
What, that we got used by Evrart, essentially? Look, and to be clear, I don't know if this will lead to a good or a bad outcome. I could see it going either way. I think this is a very tense, high-stakes situation. I could see what we've done leading to disaster, or it could be maybe still bad, but the best way out. I'm not necessarily opposed to Wild Pines, the company, backing off and letting the Union do what it wants. I mean, it's not the most ideal situation, but I don't think the other options are better. However, even if I think that, we have sort of been manipulated here by Evrart.
Just look at the three of us. The three careless boyaderos. Good times, good times.
Okay.
Okay. Hell yes, it is.
He's always playing a game. I was about to say, so what now? And I thought, well, I won't ask. I'll make him say. But then he didn't give us anything. So what now?
Now, there's a whole lot of work to do. For me and for you. I suppose there was a reason you came here, so let's get to it. What can I help my best friend and comrade with today?
I mean, I came here to talk to you about Joyce, basically. I'm not sure... Well, I think
I'm always happy to educate and
go.
entertain you, my friend. So, what's on your mind?
I think this is the one thing we didn't talk to him about last time. The signatures I got. I know you plan to force them out with the construction noise.
Harry! By now, you should know I would never do anything tricky like that. However, if the construction noise and limited street access makes some people consider moving, well, let's just say there'll be freshly renovated buildings near the roundabout where those poor people can finally enjoy a significant uptick in quality of life. I'm talking real affordable workers' palaces.
You're such a shithead. You're such a shithead, Evrart. I think I just peaked my own audio there. Apologies if that was loud. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, what are we doing here? He just, in some ways, seems very much like a sort of medieval warlord type individual, or like a mafia boss, right? He's someone who, I don't know, maybe he takes care of his people, maybe not. I don't think he cares too much about their lives, but what he really wants is control. And he wants everybody under his little umbrella. That's what I get from Evrart.
He proudly spreads his hands to demonstrate the size of the palaces. They're very large.
I want to see his brother, bro. We've heard about him, but we've never seen the guy.
So the village is doomed.
You were there, you saw the place, a wasteland, there's nothing left. But mark my words, officers, we are going to reset it.
Great. Well, great, but I did send in some fake signatures. However, let's be honest, that'll be nothing but a roadblock, a road bump for Evrart. Us faking those signatures, you know, that's not going to stop him in the long term. If he wants something, he's going to get it, especially now.
Reset. I have big plans for Martinez, and they do not include humans living in those pig sheds on the coast. That land will be used for municipal buildings and commerce.
What do you mean?
Harry, imagine a youth center supermarket church complex, employing hundreds, no, thousands of people. The coast will be lit up with enterprise and life. All those ruins out there turned into low-income housing.
A youth center supermarket church complex. Wow, all at once, eh?
Harry, enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, for God's sake. It's time to move on.
Oh, man. Youth supermarket church complex? Do you really expect me to believe that, Evrart?
Yes, I do. I got the center, I got room for a retail complex, and in 4 years, I'll get the church too. The wheels are already turning, Harry. The wheels of progress. This post-war limbo, I won't stand for it. There are kids practically playing with their own feces out there. It cannot go on.
Alright, well, I'll believe it when I see it. And once again, I mean, I don't think he's going to build a youth supermarket church complex, but do I believe he'll develop the area? Yeah, maybe. I think there's a chance. However, the issue here is who are you going to hurt along the way? That's the problem. I mean, it's like any sort of development, gentrification, something like that, where you might develop the area, you probably bring in more money, maybe things like more jobs or housing, but what about the people who are already there? Well, they're going to get hurt in the process.
There is true indignation in his voice when he speaks about the state of things, and even a touch of pain.
This is so difficult for me. I can never get a read on Evrart. I can just never tell when he's being genuine. But a couple of times, empathy or drama have stepped in and been like, he's being genuine, he's being honest. And I'm like, but what does that mean exactly? I don't know.
The pain is true. He's seen kids do worse than that. But will there be giant statues of the Clare brothers towering above it all? Joyce knew he was up to something.
Wait, but will you erect a statue to yourself?
I'm not a symbolist, Harry. I'm a realist. My statue will be Martinez rebuilt. 5-story building complexes, workers on welfare, and landowners in Azon hating me. That will be my statue. And yours. We're doing this together.
I don't know. I don't really want to give him my backing, but there could be a overall beneficial outcome, but I don't know. Joyce was right when she said you were up to something.
Damn right I am, Harry. I'm gonna make the working man as rich as she is one day. That's my job. Just like yours is to keep the peace.
Okay, well, I'd like to see that happen. I really would. I'm just not so sure about your methods.
Very nice, Harry. Is there anything else?
I think that's it.
Most certainly, Harry. By all means, Harry. What's on your mind?
Okay, well, that was certainly something. That was certainly something. I feel like I'm left with a lot to think about after all that. Goodness gracious. God, so many skill points. What to spend them on? Should probably save them. I used up a lot of my skill points before earning them back. And, you know, I reckon in the coming episodes, we might need a lot of those skill points. Especially if things really heat up. Which it seems like they will.
You're back before the cargo container.
Nah, this is a very challenging check. Okay. So we've still got a little time to spend before we can do either of our 2 meetings. So maybe we'll do some reading in the meantime. Everyone likes to read, right? Oh goodness. We'll escape the harbor first. If you have anything to say, Manana. Come on.
Hola, wandering man.
Nah. Be interested to check in with Titus Hardy, too. Just to see if he's got, anything to say about anything. I don't think so. I'd be surprised if he did, but, worth checking, right? Hello, Titus. Anything new?
The Copper-nado is back. What do you want? Yeah?
Nope.
What?
Alright, that's it. Don't worry about me, Titus. Maybe put Titus in charge. I mean, I don't know. It's really hard for me to judge any of this. I mean, Titus himself, these guys are local enforcers. That's what you'd call them. However, it seemed to me that they had a sort of genuine care for the community. You know? I got that vibe by the end of our conversation. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to make of a lot of this. So let us, let's do a little bit of reading in the meantime. Because both of our things we have to do, let me see. Yeah, still gotta wait an hour from now. God, we're a real communist, eh? Oh my goodness. It's all our stats. And I'm trying to think. I think, yeah, you gotta wait another hour for this too. I think I'm not drinking booze. Ain't happening. Alright, so let's try and spend an hour or so. What do we have? Oh yeah, we have that book for little kids. And this book on the greatest innocence. This is an interesting one. Brings knowledge on the history of innocences. Written by one João Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego. Sorry for the mispronunciation. Apologies to any Portuguese or Brazilians out there. A masked fascist who tries to reach a conclusion on which of the innocences is the coolest in the world. Okay?
The Greatest Innocence by João Paulo Salomão Lopes de Fuego. The book is large and heavy.
Let's crack it open.
Browsing through the various chapters, You try your best to understand the ceaseless overflow, the sprawl of names, dates, places, events historical. Most of it ends up as a twisted mass of facts inside your brain.
Oh, great.
Your educational survey is done. Did you catch any of that? No. Oh well, it's pop quiz time. Let's see what you've learned. This might take a few minutes. You ready?
Sure, why not?
That's the spirit. Here we go. Question 1. Who was the first innocence? Dolores Day.
Was she? Wait, I didn't actually get any information. I don't think that's true. You know, I don't really absorb anything from what I just read.
Then go with your best guess. Isn't that what students are trained to do when they don't know the answer?
Yeah, though, I don't know if that's a good approach to things. Is I can't remember. I feel like there were other innocences before Dolores Day.
Incorrect.
I knew
Dolores Day was the innocence of humanism, internationalism, and the welfare state. She codified parliamentary democracy and created modern institutions. Among these, the moral intern, she was powerful and beautiful on all her icons. Her colors are silver, white, and apricot. And when you think her name, Dolores,
Oh, God.
stomach acid rises to the back of your throat, and it hurts. You see a flash silver, a wreath, an airport bag, and blonde hair. You don't know why. Another
Blonde?
choice, perhaps?
Blonde hair, huh? Is that why we like Classier so much? Reminds us of our past love. Who reminds us of Dolores Day for some reason.
Steer clear of this one. There's something terrible about this one.
Huh?
A strange
Oh,
sensation
man.
of loss. When she left the earth, the dust, and the ice, and the humans. That is unimportant to the quiz. Stop thinking about this.
Ooh, good voice acting. I mean, it's pretty clear to... At this point, it's very clear there's some type of connection to us between Dolores Day and... I think our former partner was called Dora. At least that's what we heard in that phone call. But I don't know what the connection is. I have no idea.
Yes, the quiz is impersonal. No need to rouse sensations in yourself at the mention of Dolores Day. Who was the first innocence? It wasn't Dolores Day.
I don't know. Sola?
Incorrect.
God damn it.
Sola was anointed during the previous century and even lived to see the current one. She was an urban planner who spoke her mind and largely left history to its own devices, encouraging people to excel on their own rather than prescribing to a deified model of history.
Whoa.
She is often called an anti-innocence.
She was the postmodern innocence.
Sola resigned after an assassination attempt by a Yugo nationalist who blamed her for not taking the side of the left during the turn-of-the-century revolutions. Innocences don't usually resign. Care to try again?
Yeah, I was gonna say resigned. I didn't even know that was an option. I thought it was kind of a office for life kind of thing. Though I guess, well, I'm thinking about the Pope because Pope Francis just passed. You know, the last Pope, he resigned, but then Francis, he did what popes usually do, which is serve until they die. I guess that's sort of similar to the innocences. They usually serve until they die, but you've got the occasional resignation in there. The Pericarnassian.
Correct. Nothing much is known about him. It's not even clear that he was a he, but Franco Negro presumed as such and called him Pius. He's depicted as a young man with molten gold pouring out of his mouth. All he spoke was gold. It's said he invented God and equality of men before God. He also introduced the gold standard as a way for measuring people's love for Aurum.
Wow.
As the first innocence, he declared that there should be more of those like him. It is presumed his disciples were the beginning of the Holy Party, the founding party. Question 2. Who was the strongest innocence?
I don't know.
Easy. Everybody knows the answer to this. You, me, anybody.
I don't. Can you maybe shoot me a hint?
An innocence is the highest category of historical personage in the world, a literal personification of history.
Yes.
Traditionally, an innocence, when anointed, assumes supreme rule over the Occident or the known world in general. At least, the parts that matter.
Presumptive. Yeah, okay, that's interesting, but that doesn't help me answer the question.
I can do better. Okay, so commonly, an innocence does not enforce his or her power through military power. This is seen as unnecessary. The innocence wins because an innocence can't help but win, for their deeds are inevitabilities. Did this help?
It didn't help, but also, I don't think that's true. Not from what we've heard, at least. Or we know one innocence, Dolores Day, who absolutely did use military power to enforce her will. So, I don't know. But no, it didn't help.
Damn. Dolores.
Not again. The strongest. Vesper Messina.
Incorrect.
God damn it.
Vespa Messina is not a person, but a defunct state on the southeastern coast of the Occident. It used to take up most of the peninsula before separating into the republics of Vespa and Messina. Care to try again?
Franco Negro?
Correct.
Hey.
Named the innocence of militarism, he codified hereditary rule, but at the same time ended serfdom and established the Inter-Isolari Real as the global reserve currency. He also established the concept of the nation.
Jeez, those are some big achievements.
Franco Negro attempted to solve the rising tensions between the aristocracy and bourgeoisie by building a unified society in which every man has a place and a mission, but at the same time may rise to nobility provided on the strength of his virtue. Question 3. Who was the false innocence?
I mean, these hints are not gonna help. Stepan the Despicable.
Incorrect.
God damn it.
Stepan the Despicable, regent of Kedra, was a ruler who conquered the known world during the Kedriatic conquest, instead of the despotic Erno Pasternak. Would you try again?
Kedra?
Incorrect.
Okay.
Kedra is a large nation
Okay.
in the mid-northern area of the Mawindi Isola, north of the Occident, between the Ilmaran mountain range and the Pacific Mare Interregnum. Care to try again?
Erno Pasternak?
Correct. There have been a number of counter or false innocences, some assumed to have innocentic qualities, some who just thought so themselves. Occasionally, they have the support of a faction inside the ecclesiastic organization, and accusations of foul play have arisen.
But how do you confirm someone is or is not an innocence? It seems a little abstract to me. I guess if you have supernatural powers, like Dolores Day did, that's a pretty sure sign.
The most famous and important of these was Erno Pasternak. He was into torture, despotism, hymns, cannons, and world conquest, but got defeated and humiliated by Stepan the Despicable of Kedra.
Yeah, we heard about that.
Final stretch. You've come so far and learned so much. This is the most important one.
Dolores.
Question 4. Who was the greatest innocence?
Dolores Day!
The most important of them all. The most precious to humankind.
I mean, this one's gotta be Dolores Day. She's the most important to me. This is funny because this whole thing, it's just been a way to deliver information to us, but by bashing us over the head with it, by having us answer questions incorrectly.
I don't even have to say it anymore.
It's gotta be Dolores Day. Come on now.
Correct.
Hey.
The Mesk might see Franco Negro as the father of nations, but as of this century, there's been a great shift in attitude. Dolores Day has become widely regarded as the greatest innocence, a most radical change to the whole fabric of the world.
I kind of got that impression even before reading this book.
Everything from inter-isolary travel to the connected world to 3 consecutive scientific revolutions can be traced back to her. Every decade that passes, she seems less human somehow, and more beautiful.
Alright, get over yourself, come on.
And more beautiful.
Okay.
And more beautiful.
Yeah, I understand.
Congratulations on finishing the test. The results and your subsequent grade have been calculated. You get...
This is not gonna be good.
A D.
Yeah.
Not particularly remarkable, but technically a passing grade. Not that anyone really expected better.
I answered every question wrong multiple times.
You would have done better if you just left Dolores Day for the end. Dial the Dolores Day down a bit.
Damn you, you arrogant book.
What's going on with you?
Thinks it's so smart, god damn.
Okay.
You are shouting at an inanimate object, like a real weirdo. No wonder you seem to have trouble with the right answers.
Well, you know what?
Man, something's weird about this book.
Yeah.
You should do something fun instead. Rock out. Forget about it.
Yeah, fuck this book. Okay, well, that was definitely something. Let's heal our morale, and then take a look at this thought. White Morning, our last one. And the little guy gets smaller and smaller. As you rise above the dollhouse world, you see him out in the snow, on the streets, in the shop on the corner, and finally in a matchbox house. Sitting by the window, white flowers on the windowsill. You can smell them from up here. It's awful. A white morning, a modern death, divorce, or something similar. All you can do is put more distance between you and him, make him smaller, make him less you. Damn. Oh, interesting. Motorix learning caps raised by 1. That's, I think, really good, actually. That gives us a little more wiggle room that we didn't have. And then plus 20% zoom out distance. I'm assuming you mean, like... Oh, okay. I'm gonna play incredibly zoomed out now. Just as evidence that, I completed that thought. Well, there you go. Also need to... Didn't even notice until recently that my Kvalsund multi-tool was unequipped. Wow, look at that. Yeah, we've got... I think I discussed this, I don't know, 1 or 2 episodes ago, but really, one of the benefits of having this extra slot, the reason this is useful to me, I'm glad we got this, is not only does it mean, of course, my skills, I can raise them higher, but also that it gives me more of a buffer, right? It gives me a space to get a check wrong, to fail, and then try again. Because we had maxed out, what, I guess composure, interfacing, and savoir-faire. Very nice. This is pretty good. I'm almost tempted to boost them now. Kind of want to... I feel like pretty pleased with a lot of my different skills, but there's some I'd like to boost. Maybe hand-eye, maybe composure, reaction speed, endurance, perhaps. Not really half-light. Yeah, visual calculus maybe, conceptualization, but, you know, it's hard to know what you'll need in the moment, right? Alright, let's take a look at that phone over there. I don't know, it's something to interact with in the area. Maybe there's something more to do.
A metal payphone under a yellow plastic dome. There's a bitter, caustic taste on the tip of your tongue as you look at the handset.
Not that it ended well last time.
Life is garbage.
Screw it.
You dial the number again, as you've done many times. You remember it well now. 001 41 44 47 11 17 361 451 67 451 451. Calling, 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 calling.
Ow.
And calling.
God damn it.
For who knows how long. but no one answers. You need to insert more money to call again.
You want my money? Punch the phone. Healed health. Ow.
The cold metal is hard, and your knuckles bleed.
Right.
That's enough now, officer.
Lieutenant stands at a distance. You want more money now, huh? You want fucking money?
It didn't give you any fun for that money.
Well, we're insulated from physical harm, just not, mental harm.
Your hand is swelling up.
Ow.
Officer, that's enough. Let's return to work.
Let's.
That's right. Walk away. It's over.
Okay. Well, that was a pleasant side diversion. At least now we can go on to our meeting. Alrighty. Oh. Oh my. Yep, that would appear to be who we're looking for. Oh, this ain't good. Okay, I guess we'll approach. Oh,
Put your
God.
hands where I can see them.
Hey!
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now. Show me your hands. Right now.
What is happening?
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Okay.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
Oh man, this is... Oh, that's funny. It's just a standard flashlight, ma'am. Calm down.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer, under duress. Officer, under duress.
Her eyes bulge with terror. Veins protrude on her forehead.
I am the police. Don't move. Don't move. Hands on your head. Suspect is armed and dangerous.
Ma'am, I need you to calm down. We just want to talk.
Lateral vascular neck restraint. Carotid sleeper. Carotid sleeper. Critically reducing blood from passing through the neck of the suspect.
Huh? She's losing it. She's off her rocker.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
I don't know what would set her off. Anything. I don't know.
You have to go for the gun sooner or later.
Oh.
Perhaps you can learn crucial facts before you do.
Well, maybe we'll have a moment to use one of our new skill points. Jesus. Look, we can solve this peacefully. Please lower the weapon.
Officer in need of assistance. Suspect alert. Get on the ground.
Ma'am, please. We want to help you, but you need to lower that weapon.
That's crazy. Blow her away? Or you're under arrest? Holy moly. Let's just talk, alright?
Disturbance reported. Authorized deadly force. Sector, take the shot. Big red key. Big red key.
Please identify yourself, ma'am.
It's the goddamn police shitbag. Off the pavement. You're under arrest.
As she waves her hands, you notice familiar-looking ampoules and packets sticking out of the mountain of police gear on her back. Medicine or drugs?
Both? Drugs?
She thinks she's a police officer. Try treating her like a police officer. A lower-ranking police officer.
Okay, I like that. Officer Pigs, W. Freighter Harrier Dubois, requesting your sidearm for inspection. Hold out the badge.
What?
Patrol officer, you're in gross violation of the RCM Code of Conduct.
Sir?
Oh.
In this moment of hesitation, she almost doesn't seem disturbed, but like someone suddenly waking from a deep sleep.
Hey, this is when you gotta... How far do you push the charade, and when do you step in and just take the gun? I want the gun now.
With a swift, poorly coordinated move,
Oh.
the woman slams the megaphone against her lips and teeth. A trickle of blood runs down her chin. She doesn't notice it.
Officer compromised. Unlawful impersonation.
Right.
Pigs en route! Engage your will!
Okay. She's actually more agitated now.
Thanks.
My bad.
Great, thanks, man. Are you on drugs?
Confiscated contraband! Restricted access! 2 kilos missing! Eyewitness report compromised!
I don't think she's on drugs. Being off drugs might actually be the problem here.
Really, you think? You're not the police. We're the police.
Back up! Back up! Back up! Status unconfirmed!
Maybe we'll try this gambit again. Lieutenant W. Freighter Harrier Dubois, 41st Precinct. This is my partner, Lieutenant Kitsuragi from the 57th.
No. Oh, no.
What?
No. I thought Mr. Moran. Gareth.
Aggravated assault! Man down! Officers in pursuit!
What is happening?
What's the situation, officer?
Law enforcement compromised! Impersonating a police officer!
Does she not believe you two are actually police officers?
We tried the badge again? Didn't really work the first time. How about the uniform? Look at us, we're cops.
License and registration! License and registration! Come in dispatch! Sector! Sector! Azimuth!
Okay, don't think that worked.
It's not a code, just disjointed words.
Well, that didn't go well. With this later, what, we're gonna back off? I don't think that's an option. I think I need to take my opportunity now. Screw it. Not great. Not great, but we'll try.
Here's the plan. Drop the multi-tool and immediately dart right. The noise will startle her, allowing you to close the distance. Left hand grabs the barrel, right one breaks the wrist.
I love the inclusion of what we're holding in our hands.
A drop of sweat runs down your nose, and in it you see the Martinez Inlet, wrapped in the night. In the abandoned fish market, 3 figures standing in a spectacular light show. A large, loud woman is pointing an empty firearm at the other 2. She doesn't want to listen, or even to be heard.
Great. Okay. Thank you, Shivers. It's empty. Kim, I'm almost certain there are no bullets in that gun. Of course there aren't. It's my gun. I'm a mess, a disaster. Of course it's not loaded.
Huh? My God, I think you're right.
How antagonistic do we be? Screw it. I've had enough of this. Go ahead. Pull the trigger. I dare you.
Suicide by cop! Split-second decision! Eat lead, scumbag!
Oh my God.
No, we're fine. We're fine.
In your peripheral vision, the lieutenant releases the half.
My God.
God, I almost blew her head off.
Well, I made a bit of a bet, I suppose. Go ahead, pull the trigger. What if I was wrong?
What is this? This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This isn't real.
Well, I guess I have some of the armor on, so maybe it would have been a good test.
Police guns always have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
This is a deeply, deeply ill woman.
She looks devastated. Grab the gun right now. This might be your only chance.
No, I understand the emotional. Yeah, you're not feeling great about the gun, but just practically, we need this damn gun.
No one ever cares anymore. Why would they treat me like this?
Jesus.
Great gears are grinding to a halt. The machine is powering down. She's all out of jolt.
Well, you know, that could have gone a lot worse. I mean, really, now that I know there were no bullets in the gun, I guess the worst thing that would have happened would be if Kim had shot her. That would have been bad. But, yeah, could have gone worse.
Poor woman. We need to figure out what to do with her now.
I guess we do.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes comes to visit me.
I'm very sorry that's how life turned out for you.
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there.
What do you think's happening to her?
She's in a stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this.
Why's she like this in the first place?
Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably.
Oh.
Dementia and Channel 8, and loneliness.
Neurodegenerative disease.
Could be. Her hands were trembling, and she did seem uncoordinated. But what are we gonna do with her?
I don't know. Should we just arrest her?
I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and without a gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone.
What do we do then? I feel like... I mean, I don't think she belongs in prison, but she needs help, that's for sure. Maybe a hospital?
We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family.
Well, if that's my option, I don't want to send her to the station. Plus, she won't show up. I don't think we should leave her. And I don't care about... Yeah, okay, sure. If that's our best call, then we'll get Titus on the job.
Then we can ask him once we get back to the whirling. But we have to hurry, because it's late, and they might have already gone home. But I think we're done here for now. Let's head out. This is done.
Please, leave the radio on.
Reflex to what? Being left alone. She stands motionless. Just a heap of clothes and flashes now. Maybe if you search her once more.
Can we?
The woman stands slumped. She looks catatonic under her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Is one of those things a police cap?
Oh?
There were narcotics in there, too. You're thinking of taking them. Do.
No. Give me the cap.
She doesn't even flinch
Hey.
as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking lieutenant's cap from her mountain of RCM paraphernalia.
Nice.
Oh, is that yours?
Maybe?
It's hard to say. It's been so long since you wore yours.
I think so.
The lieutenant nods.
I'll leave her be. I don't need to take the drugs. They're not good for me either. Hey! Very nice. Let's put it on. Well, we've got another hat now. After losing my Dick Mullen hat, I was displeased a little bit. Equip this when times are most dire. Jeez Louise. Oh no. I need to decide when to equip it? It's probably not a good idea to run around with a gun equipped. 3-shot revolving barrel Villiers-LaSalle pepper box. Typically assigned to officers of the RCM upon reaching the rank of sergeant. Yeah, it's not quite the type of gun I imagined. The pepper box style. The butt of the gun is worn and the engraving on the side reads, Sunrise Parabellum. This is your gun, no doubt about it. Okay then. Well, let's head back to the Hardy Boys. That was quite the interaction. Like I mean, maybe it could have gone better, but you know what? It could have gone a lot worse. The fact that we all made it out of there, at least physically unscathed, I think is the best thing we could have hoped for. Let's go tell Titus, and we'll unequip that now. I will not equip the gun, but I mean, if I think we're getting close to Ruby, well, I don't know. I don't want to shoot her, but maybe I'll equip that gun. I don't know. Oh god, that's a big decision. Hey, Titus.
The Copper-nado is back. What do you want?
I've got a job for you, buddy. There's an old catatonic lady in the old fish market on the other side of the bay. She needs help.
What's that, Copper? You want us to help little old ladies now?
Come on now.
You're local law enforcement, aren't you? Helping troubled civilians should fall under your jurisdiction.
Yeah, that's right. If you truly want to fulfill this role, then this is the kind of thing you should be doing. So, Let's be honest. Cops in the real world are not good at this sort of thing. But you know what, Titus? Maybe you can be.
Yeah. We'll send someone out. Who is? Wait. It's the pigs, isn't it?
Yep, her.
God. Poor lady. Don't worry. We'll handle this. I think she got some family in Courant or something. Bastards left her alone when she got sick. We've been getting complaints.
Yeah, she's a sad, lonely, sick old lady. But that was quite the interaction we had.
Hey, wasn't Evrart's B team looking for her the other day? They said something about her, I don't know, finding something?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right, Gene. She have something of yours, Pig.
Whatever you do, do not admit to these punks you lost your gun. You will suffer if you do.
Nope.
No? Well, whatever then, copper.
Yeah, fair enough.
No. They totally said what it was.
Shut up, Eugene.
What was it? Anyone remember?
I don't remember. I was fucking drunk.
Let me know if you figure it out back there. Now, anything else we can help you with?
Yeah, I guess, I'll ask you a couple of questions. What was her name, or what's her name? Her real name?
Auntie LaPlante, we always called her. Something LaPlante.
Marianne, amigo.
Marianne. Amigo. Marianne LaPlante.
Be anything else you wanted to know?
Who was she?
Was. Like before. Just an old lady. Her kids moved away years ago. Never come to visit. Never took her calls. She gets out every now and then. She did right by lots of us when we were kids. Always was a little off. But still.
Yeah, I mean, this is someone who needs some pretty deep medical and psychiatric care, but I don't know if that's available to her in this area, or if she'd have the resources for that. In fact, she doesn't, I can tell you that much.
Us kids, that must have been ages ago. She was better then. The children kept her together.
How'd she get like this?
Wanted to be a cop, you mean? Well, shit. I don't actually know. Anyone know why she started acting like a pig?
I mean, that's the most quirky part of this, I guess you could say. The rest of it's pretty sad and frankly pretty normal, you know? But the pigs type thing is very weird.
No fucking clue. It's gotta be the crazy. Who'd want to be a pig?
No, I don't. I don't know, maybe someone who wanted to set the world right before it ends?
No, I didn't. Because I'm not fucking stupid, Polizonte.
Yeah, Carl. That's some pretty fucking weird shit to say. The pigs, level weird. But whatever gets you through the day.
Y'all are posing as local law enforcement, so you're gonna have to get on the same page. Where'd she get all the cop gear?
Dunno. She lives by the water. Shit washes up all the time on the beach.
Police paraphernalia doesn't just wash up on the coast, people. It's not like we dump it at night. She bought it, collected it.
Well, she got the gun, and probably the hat from me.
Station 41. A man carries a crate of rusted, unused badges. You think these would net us something at the annual auction? A balding detective drags a comb futilely across his head. Shit, who'd want those? Just dump them into the river.
Ah, wow, so we really do dump it at night. Oh, goodness, sorry, Kim. Well, thanks for helping me out with this one, Titus.
No problem, old cop man. We take care of our mentally ill here in Martinez. Ain't that right, boys?
You know, there's a sort of phenomenon that with the... Now, I'll preface this by saying, I am absolutely not making the claim that pre-modern mental health care is better than modern health care. That's ridiculous. What I will say is that, you know, there's this sort of phenomenon in a lot of, say, pre-modern European towns and villages We're talking prior to the 1800s, 1700s, you know, this idea of sometimes called the village idiot or something like that, where you'd have someone who had sometimes pretty severe mental health issues, and, you know, if they didn't think it was Satan or something, there was a culture of, well, we sort of got to take care of this person as a community. You know, they can't really fend for themselves, and so we'll all pitch in to take care of this person. Generally pretty well liked, right? Once again, I'm not saying this would be a good situation for someone to be in. A lot of people were totally cast aside. But the point I am making is that when we get the advent of sort of modern mental health services in the 1800s, what you see is these people who, some of them once would have been taken care of by their communities, are tossed into these horrific asylums, right? Where they are abused really badly. I mean, if some of you guys know, the conditions in these mental health institutions in the 1800s through sort of the early to mid 1900s were truly despicable, abusive. And so it's interesting, what you used to have, in some cases, was something a little bit more like this, where the community sort of pitches in and tries to take care of this person, but we've got sort of a different view of these things nowadays.
Sure enough, we're the real heroes on these streets.
Is that so? Yeah, Foucault writes, and I haven't read an incredible amount of Foucault, but he writes a fair amount about this evolution of treatment and perspective on mental health, or mental illness, I should say. Alrighty. Well, that's that. Oh, goodness gracious. Well, that was sort of high intensity. Let's boost our morale. We're going to end this episode out in front of the Whirling in Rags, as we often do. Next time, I guess, well, maybe we'll talk to Evrart. But the main thing we're going to do next time is continue and hopefully wrap up our building communism quest. I think I'll have to check in with Evrart, but with everything we talked with him about today and getting our gun back, seems to me that the sort of Union quest line is basically wrapped up. Once again, I'll check in with him next time. We'll see. I think we're probably done with that for now, until the main story continues. But next time we'll continue with our political quest line to build communism once again. So yeah, that is the end of this episode. Thank you guys for following along. I always appreciate all the comments, interaction on these videos. I always enjoy reading through your guys' comments, so as always, feel free to leave a comment. If you enjoyed this one, you can leave a like, subscribe to the channel, you know, all that good stuff. I hope you guys are all having a great day today, and I will see you all again next time. Goodbye.